Hey YouTube, Prepper in America here. This is the first video of a series of videos. Um, Doing some videos about should you prep, don't have a lot of space, limited budget, that sort of thing. So I thought I'd do a series of videos for the person that, rents a room or lives in a camp trailer or has a studio apartment. Because prepping, obviously it can be overwhelming. You watch YouTube videos and there's a lot of things on there. There's guys with underground bunkers and just a lot of money invested. So this is more designed and catered towards the person that just would like to have a small piece of security in their home. Whether, you live in an earthquake area or a place that burns up every year with forest fires or flooding or economic collapse or whatever you're nervous about. Ultimately, this stuff is supposed to give you a small sense of security, and the reality is the more things you can eliminate having to utilize brain resources on in an emergency situation of any kind, the better off you are, because you're going to need all of that valuable intellect to come up with a strategy and a plan on how to stay alive. And if you're not having to worry about where you're going to get your water, your food, or stitch up your cut that you just got or whatever, if you don't have to think about addressing that stuff because you've already addressed it, then you're going to be miles ahead. So video number one is about water. Many options on water. Obviously if you live in an apartment, you're not going to have an outside water source where the rain gutter goes into the 55-gallon drum and does the filter system. So we've got to think realistically. So a couple of ideas that I've got is cases of water. If you take 2 cases of water and set them on a floor next to a wall and put 2 cases 6 feet away, and stack them up and put a 1x12 across it, you can actually build shelves right in the front room, 2 or 3 shelves high, or in a closet or wherever you want to utilize the water and make it usable now type thing. So you can build shelves with your cases of bottled water, which you can pick up a couple cases every payday. It's really inexpensive and it adds up fast. So if you had 8 cases of water or 12 cases of water with some 1x12 across them and made shelves, you now have got plenty of water to buy yourself some time to figure out what you're going to do if something bad happens. Another option is you can go to your local store. I don't like to use Walmart because I don't like Walmart, but a Walmart comparable store, if you will. But anywhere where they sell 5-gallon jugs of water for water, like the water machines, you can buy those and bring those home and shove those in the closet. Lots of options on water, but if you're in a confined space, in a small space, one of the things you need to think about is where do you store your water and how do you keep it with you. So cases of water stacked up into shelving type thing or something of that sort seems to be a pretty good idea. I've given that advice to a couple people I know that live in studio apartments or rent rooms, and it's extremely viable option for them. Doesn't take very long. You can put it together pretty quick and simple, and then it seconds as shelving for the rest of your preps. So everything's consolidated. So just one option. Another option, if you've got a garage, is to go. Your local restaurants oftentimes will have them, but you're looking for 20-gallon food grade storage jugs. They look like a 55-gallon drum, but they're 20 gallons. And the reason I say 20 gallons is not that I don't like 55 gallons, but if you're solo and you have to load it into a truck to take it somewhere, say you decided to bug out, you're going to take some water with you, it is a pain in the ass to load a 55-gallon drum solo. So I've done it. It sucks. You probably won't be doing a whole lot afterwards because you about half broke yourself putting it in the back of the truck. So that's why I say the 20-gallon food grade jugs. You can go online to Amazon or eBay and you can get bottles of water preserver that typically do 25 gallons or 55 gallons of water for 5 years. It's not too expensive, but you can get that on eBay, and It's literally called water preserver. As a matter of fact, hold on. I happen to have some right here. Water preserver. So this little bottle preserves water a lot the same way that Stabil preserves fuel. But it's got a 5-year life, and this little bottle does 55 gallons. So another option if you've got a garage, something of that sort, not a bad idea to put a couple of jugs in there. Because the reality is, if SHTF happens or a natural disaster happens and you go to the faucet and you can't fill anything up with water, you're going to be SOL unless you've got some water. Because without some water, you are toast, dude, or dudettes, or whoever's watching. So something to think about. I know a lot of people that are getting ready, you know, I talk to them about prepping and I don't have the money to do it, or I don't have any room to do it. So people, you need to get out of that mindset, because in the event that something happens, you're going to want to have those resources, want to have the water. So got to find a way to do it. Don't necessarily have to have a huge filtration system or a 500-gallon cistern outside or anything like that. You just need to have enough water to buy yourself some time to figure out what your next move is. And then if you're running around thirsty as all get out, can't find any water, that's where all of your mindset's going to be focused on, and you're not going to be thinking about the things you need to be thinking about, which is keeping yourself and your family safe. So that's my 2 cents on water. Doesn't matter how you do it, doesn't matter how you get it. Buy a little bit at a time. It adds up. A couple of cases on payday or whatever, but put yourself in a position where you're not running around having to look for water in the event something bad happens. Anyway, again, this is my first video on a series of videos on how to prep economically and consolidate your stuff into a small area. This is by far not meant to be the person that's got unlimited resources and space and room and knowledge. This is simply for people that don't have anything in their home, and they need to start thinking about it. So anyway, give me a thumbs up, like the video, share it, comment on it. I love to hear the comments. There's so much good information out there. I certainly don't declare to know it all. That's for sure. I know it works for me. And subscribe to the channel. I'm out.